I am a registered, qualified professional mental health practitioner. So everything I say is fact.
Good.
You know,
Good to
it's
know.
not I've heard from this, I've heard from that. This is
And
my
how
bread
long have
and
you been
butter.
practicing again?
23.
23 years.
23 years. 23.
So parental alienation, in your own words, say, you say what parental alienation is what? The number one what?
The number one killer of men in the UK today. People who actually complete, because remember, we don't use the word commit anymore because it's not a crime to take your own life. So we say complete suicide, not commit suicide. Because committing means committing a crime. If you take your own life, it's not a crime in the UK anymore.
Wow.
So we don't use the word commit anymore. It's complete suicide. Who are you to tell me that I can't take my own life? Well, I'll do it to show you that I can't.
Because he's already so angry.
Yeah, with everything. He's now looking for an excuse.
Yeah, and you are going to tell him what not to do and what to do with his own, with what he has.
Exactly.
Or he feels he has control of.
Exactly. If I stop this car and I take this medication, all these problems will go away because I will not be here. And my ex-partner would see what she's done to me.
Okay.
So it wasn't just how I felt, but I was so angry with what she was doing to me that I was willing to take my life just to prove to her that this is what she's done to me. And that is how bad these things can get.
Which brings us back to the fact that men don't talk.
Yeah, it's always that. Because talking is very difficult, I must say. Talking about your emotion as a man or a woman is difficult in itself. But women have mastered the art of doing it. We haven't.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Barber Chair. This is a conversation in the chair where we dive into stories, experiences, insights while sharing a relaxed, friendly chat with our client in the chair. So grab a seat and let's get into some amazing conversation. See ya. What is probably your worst experience there?
Oh, being attacked by psychotic patients, yeah.
Would you say okay, so the gender, the number of patients you've dealt with, how many the percentage
ratio it
that's
will be 80% females and 20% males.
Is it?
When the men come to us, it's a bit too late. It's not because they came to us, it was because they were brought to us. So they've engaged in risky behaviors like attacking people on the road or exhibiting serious psychosocial symptoms and psychological symptoms to the point that they get sectioned by the police under 136 and brought to us for admission. Whereas with women, they seek help, self-help before it gets to that stage. So that's the differences we're finding in disparities between mental health in terms of the gender. Men leave it till it's too late, till their friends say, no, we're not leaving you like this, we're taking you in for some support. Or they start exhibiting negative symptoms of whatever is going on to the point that they have to be detained.
So would you say by the time they come, it will have been...
It's too late.
It's too late?
Yes, this is the problem. So they don't voluntarily come to us and say, I've been struggling for the past 1 month with my mental health. Women would come if they're struggling for 2 days. You know?
Why is it the case?
Because it's society. Man up. Man up. The word man up. So we are telling men that if you're talking about your vulnerabilities, which is your mental health, then you're weak. Full stop. Full stop. And so society have trained us men not to show any weaknesses, and they've included talking about your struggles as a weakness because you have to man up. You are the head of the household. If you are in a family where there's been a bereavement, okay? You are sitting with your sisters. You're the only male. You're sitting with your sisters. A stranger comes and say, I'm sorry, you've lost your dad. Your sisters will be on the floor, wailing, screaming, getting all their emotions out. What would you be doing? Consoling them,
supporting them.
Exactly. But what you're doing is you're bottling in your emotions, which will manifest. It will come out in a different form, usually in anger, because it's got nowhere to go. So men, we are prone to violence, and those violence can be explained by the bottled emotions that we haven't brought it out to the surface or dealt with it.
You know, this is quite very interesting, which is why it kind of explains why men can find themselves in domestic violence.
Yeah, it's bottling in all those anger. Because
not to say it's a correlation, but we're just trying to get into the bottom of it.
There is a correlation. There is a correlation between domestic violence and men not expressing or dealing with their emotional vulnerabilities. There's a direct correlation. Because you are in a relationship with a woman, in a month, that woman would cry her grief or emotions out 20 times in a month.
Yeah.
The man, none at all. You get angry and you be quiet and you leave things as it is. But those things are building up. They have to go somewhere. It's like a pressure cooker. You know, it's just there, boop, 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 before you know, boom, it's gone. It's like a pressure cooker. So if you don't deal with it, it would manifest in a different way. And the only way it can come out is one day it just becomes too much. So you either harm yourself or you harm somebody else, or it comes out in a form of violence or anger or outburst.
See, in my experience dealing with men, in the chair, people telling their stories, people speaking. Obviously, men have been in the, they have experienced like domestic violence where they were the culprits.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Now, by what you're saying, that means that. So what tends to happen is, obviously, he finds himself in trouble with the police and everything, and could find himself not seeing his children.
Yeah.
Okay, so that from the mental health issues that led to the domestic violence, now he's got to have to deal with the fact that he's not seeing his family anymore, and it's just compounding.
Yeah.
That's actually serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because no one is looking at it like, how did this man get to this point?
There you go. So I'll tell you a little story. This happened in Glasgow. So Glasgow used to be termed as the murder capital of UK, not London. In terms of night crime and violence, it wasn't London, it's Glasgow, Scotland. So what they were doing was the police were trying to arrest people into solving the problems of society. And they realize it's not working because these people are arrested, in prison, they come out and they do the same thing. So what they look at the causative factors that causes this antisocial behaviors, which was from the very onset, from birth, from home. What the children see at home, the violence they see. Again, these dads and these moms have suffered with mental health that's not been dealt with. And these children have picked those behaviors up and they grow out normalizing that, being violent, bottling out your emotions as a young man, because most of these crimes are committed by boys, not girls.
Yeah.
And these are the way that they've seen.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah, this is how they've seen their fathers deal with issues.
The anger, yeah.
Just keep it in you. Don't tell your dad, don't tell your mom how you're feeling. You're getting bullied in school. Don't say anything. Be a man. And then one day they will take a knife to school. Because it's become too much now. The only way to resolve this is violence. So they take a knife to school and they get in trouble. So now they are in the criminal justice system. Okay, their life is already spiraled downhill. They go to prison and they see more men and they see more masculinity and they see more macho way of dealing with things. So now they come out with a renewed understanding of how to deal with their social problems, which is anger and violence.
Even more.
So it then just escalates from there. So what they were looking at in Glasgow, the expert looked at the psychosocial factors from young children and kind of educate them that it's okay to be vulnerable, full stop. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to talk to someone about your difficulties and your mental health and to seek support. So they brought in what they call the early help, which is the EH in schools.
I look out to it. I look forward to it.
So the early help is where schools look at a particular child and the behavior trend and they say, right, let's refer this person for early help.
Okay, within the school. So within them, they are then referred to CAMS, which is the child adolescent mental health.
Do parents have consent about
Yes,
this?
the parents are all involved. The early help, it inculcates the whole family. The mom, the dad, if they are around, the mom, dad, and the other siblings, everybody is involved. They look at how they can support this child before things get out of hand. So from the early stages. And it worked like magic for Glasgow. Yeah, it worked like magic for Glasgow. And now they are kind of spreading it out across the UK to try and implement that and look at causative factors rather than, they are looking at solutions rather than immediate resolving them by arresting these boys or stop and search. Those are not going to help. Because when they started the stop and search in London, what were they doing? They were now giving the knives to the girls. Do you know what I mean? They were giving the knives to the girls, to their girlfriends, because they know their girlfriends will not be stopped and searched.
Okay.
So that hasn't resolved the problem.
No.
You know. So it's educating people. That's why Idris Elba has also started his campaign about knife crime, targeting young people and saying to them, that's not the solution.
Yeah, but that's not
holding a knife does not make you safe. It makes you a target.
So, I mean, you said so much in there, but what is it? So it starts from the home.
Like we say in Ghana, charity begins at home. Yeah. So everything starts from childhood. Yeah. The way nurturing, we've got nature and nurturing. You know, the way we bring about our children, what they see is what they emulate, and that's what they take into society. So child never sees dad crying or showing his emotions. Sees mom doing it all the time. He is a man or he's a boy. How do you think he's going to deal with his emotions? He's going to deal with it exactly as dad does, because this is how men do. So
but then that's the thing. It's also messed up because if the little boy starts showing his emotions and crying, he goes to school, he's getting bullied.
Exactly.
Because it's like, we are soft.
Why is he getting bullied? Because the consensus is that men do not, or boys do not show emotions. Girl can do that, but boys do not. So that's the stigma that we have to erase. The boys are not doing that because they will be bullied, or they'll be laughed at, or they'll be seen as weakling in school. Because the notion, who created that notion that boys shouldn't show their emotions? Whose idea was this?
I don't know where it's coming from.
Exactly. And that's what we need to eradicate. Because if we don't, like they are saying on TikTok now, it's fashionable to hold knives. When children were asked, why do you hold knives? It's fashionable, innit? Everybody does it, innit? They can't even tell you why. So where did it come from that you're safer carrying a knife? And we all know that when you carry a knife, it empowers you. It makes you feel stronger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But does it make you feel safer?
No.
Exactly. It makes you actually feel vulnerable. You know, and it makes you commit crimes that otherwise, if you didn't have the knife on you, you wouldn't have committed, because it empowers you. If I'm holding a gun, I don't care how big you are. When I walk in here, I expect you to give me some respect, because I've got my peace with me.
See, this is what got me to start this podcast, where what I'm trying to do is, I have seen the barber and the client sort of relationship where men can actually open up, they can talk. And in my experience, being a barber, I find it very strange, the things a lot of men will share with me
On the chair.
that they will not share with their wives. It's actually deep. And I feel like it's quite a place, and there's something there that we can encourage going forward. But men need to talk. I mean, where do we start?
There's actually a charity called Men Talk. Have you looked at that?
No.
Yeah, there is a charity called Men Cave, Men Talk, and things like that. There's a lot of charity, but it's still getting men to accept that, like women, we go through difficulty, and it's okay to talk about those difficulties.
So how do we get there?
It's by doing this.
Sally.
If a man sees a big macho guy like me talking about my emotions, they go, oh, if he's doing that, then I can do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember Mike Tyson doing a podcast, and he was crying his eyes out in the studio. Do you know what I mean? And he admitted that in the past he wouldn't have done that because that would be seen as a sign of weakness. Do you know what I mean? Because when we look up to people, like we look at someone like Rio Ferdinand, you know, when he was a footballer, he never showed any weakness, but now he does. But that at that point was the time he needed to show that vulnerability and the weaknesses. Wayne Rooney, the same thing. They never did because it was just an acceptable norm in society that as a man, you should not be showing your emotions. And we've somehow accepted that. That who created that, who brought about that.
It's so sad, you know.
And the only way to break that is for us to start talking.
It's just brilliant. That's all I've been saying.
Unfortunately, we only talk in spaces where we feel safe.
And
in
someone
the
to
barber
listen.
chair, you know, we feel safe, we feel non-judged.
What do you say in the barber chair?
It's always been in a barber's chair. It's always been for decades. In the US, that's where people talk. I mean, Will Smith talks about his mental health when he goes to his barber. P. Diddy talks about his mental health when he's sitting in the barber's chair. That's what people have always done because this is a man cave. Women don't come here. You know, and we all go to the barber.
Yeah.
So it's a safe space for men. But that's not enough because we're keeping it secret. It's like I have a disability and I'm hiding it away from people and I'm only showing it to my family. It's not going to help. The awareness is not going to be there because where's your audience? Who are the people you want to send this message to?
Outside.
Exactly. But men want to feel safe. Like when men come to me and I speak to them, like last night, you know, a very rich man in his 60s came to me and was telling me about all these things he's got, all this money, but he's never happy. He buys his way to happiness and it's still not enough.
I remember one time you shared a story to me, like a guy who was so rich and he couldn't connect with his family. You remember you said that? Could you touch on that?
Yeah. I remember the exact. Was it this man that was buying?
Yes.
He had loads of cars, loads of houses,
and it was like disconnected to his family.
Completely.
And you spoke to him, and he was like, "This is the first time."
He said it's the first. He cried his eyes out, and this was a man who came to me in suit and everything. He was just. He wasn't happy. He couldn't explain why he wasn't happy. But what this man has done is, instead of living, he was existing. Okay? So there's two different things.
What's the difference?
The difference between living and existing. Living is actually living in the present, the here and now, and enjoying life as it is for you. Whether be it's life with your family, whether the things you love about being your religion, your culture, you know, just being in the present and enjoying what you have. Existing just means that you're just alive because you're here. There is no essence to life for you.
Yeah.
Nothing. If you're dead today, you're not worried. So people who are existing normally are very suicidal because they are the people that are walking and hoping that they just die because this is not how life should be for them.
Yeah.
So they are just existing. You know, it's almost like you're making a lot of money, but you're working from 6 a.m. till 12 midnight, 7 days a week.
So is that what he was doing?
You're existing. That's not living.
So that's what he was doing.
That's what he was doing. He was amassing the fortune, but in the process of doing that, he had disentangled himself from what really is important, which is family. So if the daughter gets to 80, buys the daughter a car, buys the daughter a house. Wife says, I want to go shopping and holiday with my friends, take the money. What is he doing for himself? Just working and amassing the fortune. So every day he's not happy because what he hasn't realized is he's just existing. He's following life cycle.
Okay, so just bringing you back there, you said what is most important is family.
It's family.
So what makes family so important? It might be a silly question, but what makes it so important for a man?
Family is knowing that there is someone there you care about and they care about you with no strings attached. Whether you're a rich dad or rich mother, whether you're not a nice dad or you're not a nice mom, it doesn't matter. Just knowing that there's somebody you go home to and somebody who relies on you and see you as a safety network. Yeah. One of the number one killer in the Western world is loneliness. It doesn't exist in the so-called third world countries like Ghana and in the Philippines and China. Loneliness don't exist because the whole society is built on family and relationship. Here it's not. The partner I am with now, she can go for a year. She hasn't seen her brother, her only brother. You know, and this is her only little nuclear family, mom and brother. That's the only two people she has apart from me. Yeah, but she can go a whole year without seeing her brother, and she's okay with that. You and I, that's the most strangest thing ever, isn't it?
It is.
You know, so the number one killer in the Western world is loneliness, and lonely people have got nobody. I get people who come to me mostly because they have got nobody. They have absolutely nobody.
So you just want someone to just talk to.
They just want someone to care and someone to talk to and know someone that I can go to. So we set up, I think I told you this before, we set up a line where people could call and speak to us. We call it the Mental Health Access Hub. So there are people who call us and talk to us about EastEnders.
Just like that.
Just like that. Because they've watched the program, very interesting program. They've got nobody to discuss.
And these are men.
With. These are men and women, young and old.
So they just come and talk to you about trivial stuff.
Like the Crisis Cafe. We have places we call the Crisis Cafe. So this is a place where you can walk in and say, oh shit, I've had a bad day. And then someone will sit with you and just talk to you about your day.
Gosh, I didn't know this stuff existed.
They'll give you no medication, nothing. They just talk to you about your day. That's it.
Really?
That's it. And these people walk out of there feeling like brand new people. They walk out of there feeling like brand new humans. And I say to myself, what have I done? I've just had a chat like I would with a friend, but this guy thinks I've saved his life. Because they've got nobody like that who cares about them.
So when you're speaking to these people on the phone or face to face, what do you show to them that made them change, like that made them feel good?
Empathy. Empathy. The word is empathy. I understand how you feel. It's normal to feel the way you feel. Yeah? I understand how you feel like that, and you've got every right to feel like that. And I get you. That word, I get you. Equating yourself, being empathetic towards them means everything. Because he, as a man, coming to another man who he doesn't know, telling them their challenge.
It's already a tax.
It's already a tax for them. Because they already feel he's going to judge me. You know, and then you say to him, I absolutely understand how you feel. And if you even relate to their story, oh my days, they're like, you literally saved their life. How many times have I heard them say, you have saved my life? So what did this person have in mind? This probably decided this is my last option. I'm going to see the mental health team. If they're not able to understand how I feel or help me, then I'm just going to go and kill myself. Everyone tells me, go and see the mental health team. I went to see them and they judged me. So there is no hope for me. I might as well just go kill myself now. Because that's the only thing left.
Hey. Loneliness.
Not having anybody who cares about you. You could have, like some people, if, for example, in London, you could have someone in your barber chair here, yeah, who's got like 200 friends, but those are not friends, those are acquaintances. Those are opportunistic people who use them for their own selfish gains. They are not friends, they are opportunistic people. And they know that. And they know that I cannot rely on this person unless I do them this favor.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to use that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what about in the days of social media?
That is even worse now. Because the thing about social media I've always had a problem with is that social media can be used for good. Why? Because you are using social media now
for your podcast to educate people.
Absolutely.
That's for good. But if I sit on social media and I say to people, as a man, you shouldn't show your weakness, then I'm using social media in a very negative way. So it's how you use social media and what you access on social media. That's what's important. Yeah. And the information that you absorb from social media. Like a podcast like yours, I will listen to. But if I have a steroid head, yeah, who is always trying to promote masculinity, like what do you call this guy?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. You know.
He's always the example, isn't it?
Exactly. And showing off riches, and you have to make money by all means necessary. As a man, you have to be the household person. So there is, in a sense, it's telling you that the life you're living now is not worth living. If you're not making money and buying Ferraris, your life is really not worth living. That's in essence what he's telling young people. You know, if you're not in control of women and you're not, you know, in control of your woman at home, telling her what to do because you provide for her, then your life is not, you're not a man, essentially. News like that I will not absorb because it's not going to help me.
Wow.
So it's how you access and use social media. Social media is very helpful, but it's how you use it and what information you absorb from it.
You know, I did a video on suicide without being an expert. I was just talking about like the hope and the fact that, you know, speaking to others and the courage to see another day, all that stuff. But what will really get, that's the question I've always wanted to ask, what will really get another man to get into that dark place and say that I'm ending it?
So suicide is one of the most personable, difficult decisions that any human being would ever take.
Yeah.
So to feel suicidal means it's an admonition that I failed in life, that this life is not for me anymore. It's the most difficult decision any person would ever make. Now there are differences in suicide. Suicidal ideation, fleeting suicidal ideation is when things have really gone bad and you've thought, I'll be better off dead. Yeah, those are ideations. But people who actually complete, because remember, we don't use the word commit anymore because it's not a crime to take your own life. So we say complete suicide, not commit suicide. Because committing means committing a crime. If you take your own life, it's not a crime anymore. Wow. So we don't use the word commit anymore. It's complete suicide.
Right, that right there is it's a bit of a problem though.
Yeah.
When they use the word complete instead of commit, commit is quite weighty. Do you get me? If I'm going to commit something, a crime, I feel like, oh, let me not do it. But if you lighten it to say complete, that in itself, anyway.
Yeah. So committing and completing are all the end products of taking your life.
Yeah.
So if we use the word commit because you've already committed to something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've done it.
Yeah.
So it's a death. But people, the education has to be out there that you're not committing a crime. It's not against the law to take your own life. Okay? It's not against the law. That's just the fact of life. So we don't use the word commit anymore. We use the word complete suicide. You've completed suicide. And we only use the word when you've actually done it. Okay. When you're actually dead.
Okay. So when you're contemplating
a suicidal ideation.
Or attempt it.
Yeah, attempted suicide or suicidal ideation. The person has attempted suicide. Okay. Because now they feel controlled.
Well, the fact that
society tells them that by taking your life, you are committing a crime. Makes them want to do it. Because they are effed up with society and thinking, why can't I take my own life? Okay, I'll take my own life then in public. And let's see what you do. So that itself is a stigma.
It's like defiance.
Yes, it's a defiance. It's a stigma to say, why, this is my life. It's not worth living anymore. I want to end it. Who are you to tell me I can't?
Because you said that, I'm going to do it in public.
Crazy. That's mad. That's mad.
And this is the mind of someone who is come to the end of his tether.
Yeah.
This is the mind of how somebody who has made that decision really rationalizes things. Who are you to tell me that I can't take my own life? Well, I'll do it to show you that I can't.
Because he's already so angry.
Yeah, with everything. He's now looking for an excuse.
Yeah, and you are going to tell him what not to do and what to do with his own, with what he has.
Exactly.
Or he thinks he has control of.
Exactly. But there is no man or woman on earth that has not contemplated or wished to be dead at some point. That's why we call it fleeting suicidal ideation. Fleeting. So it comes and goes, depending on the severity of whatever problem that you're dealing with. So we term it as a fleeting suicidal ideation. Now, when it gets to a point where someone actually thinks, this is it, I'm going to end my life, at that point it's too late. There's really nothing you can do to stop them.
Really?
And they do not communicate that to you. Now, we are lucky that the people that come to us or are referred to us are at the point where they are contemplating suicide because they can't see anything. So our job through cognitive behavior therapy is to give them a different perspective of the problem they're going through. So you break it down. What are your main issues? This. Right? You cannot resolve all these problems at once. What are the most pressing needs? This. So have you tried this and this and this and that? Give it time and see what happens. So they've got something to work towards. So that's hope for the future.
I hear that.
You know, so by breaking down your problems, because sometimes when someone comes to see me, I've got my referral that says this person is feeling suicidal because they've had a breakup with a girlfriend. And they sit in front of me and they talk about the breakup. You ask them a lot of questions about the breakup and suddenly they realize that that's not enough for them to end their life. So now they go back 20 years. I lost my dad. So it makes me also feel like this. I lost this person, I lost that person. But for 20 years, you've survived losing your dad. Why is it a problem now?
Why are you picking it?
Why are you picking it now? Because your brain is trying to convince you that life is not worth it. Based on what's happened now.
It needs to be justified.
It needs to be the here and now. The problem you have now, here, that is disturbing, that needs resolving. Not what happened 20 years ago. Because what you're doing now is you're compartmentalizing the problems. You're putting one against each other and putting them all in one box and saying all these problems tells me that I cannot carry on with life.
Wow.
But there was only one instigator. It was because I broke up with my girlfriend.
So basically, when you speak to these people and say you highlight the problem with their relationship, you broke up with this girl. And you fix that kind of issue, then they will go back to pick another friend and another friend that's even gone past and just add to it to give him the reason
to give them a reason
to go and do what
because that's how the brain works. That's why cognitive behavior therapy helps, because it breaks down your problem and gives you a different perspective. You know, if you lost your dad 20 years ago and you're still sitting in front of me, you've done very well. The problem that brought you to me is your relationship breakdown. That's the one you need to resolve. You've done well by dealing with, the bereavement of your dad 20 years ago. That's not an issue for you now. The issue for you now is this. Let's focus on this. And you work with this problem moving forward rather than bringing up problems that you have dealt with.
But don't we always do that? Even in sometimes in our conversation, in our relationship.
But that's how the brain works.
Yeah. Because I find myself, if I was in a relationship and I find myself like not happy with my spouse, whoever it is,
you bring up the
and I would just say, you are always like this.
Just like
she came in, but maybe she's done something this time that needs to be talked about.
But you're bringing up other things that she did before.
And it's like, so the brain is trying to justify your emotion and everything that you're going, or what you want to do.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing about it is, when she did those things a few months ago, did you talk about it or did you just brush it off? Because if you brushed it off, it's still at the back of your mind.
Okay.
And it would take something for it to come to the surface.
Which brings us back to the fact that men don't talk.
Yeah, it's always that. Because talking is very difficult, I must say. Talking about your emotion as a man or a woman is difficult in itself. But women have mastered the art of doing it. We haven't. When I was going through those struggles with my children, from 2016 all the way to 2020.
What happened to your children?
Oh, it's the same thing as yours. I was struggling to
parental alienation.
Parental alienation. I
really
really struggled with that. And at some point, when I got some medication from my GP, I decided if I stop this car and I take this medication, all these problems will go away because I will not be here. And my ex-partner would see what she's done to me.
Okay.
So it wasn't just how I felt, but I was so angry with what she was doing to me that I was willing to take my life to prove to her that this is what she's done to me. And that is how bad these things can get. So now I'm not even doing it for myself. And you ask yourself
it's
why.
Like a revenge.
Exactly. And you ask yourself why. Because the family that I love, that I call my family, my social network, my protective factors are gone. So what am I doing here? These are the people that mean everything to me. They are gone. So what am I doing here?
This is why we have to be careful the way our society see parental alienation. We don't. This is affecting men.
It's the number one killer of men in the UK.
Parental alienation.
It's the number one killer of men in the UK.
Say less, boss.
It's the number one killer.
Say less, boss.
£32,000. I'm still paying for it now.
You said
since
what?
2020.
So parental alienation, in your own words, say it. You said what? Parental alienation is what? The number one what?
The number one killer of men in the UK today. If you go onto all the groups on Facebook and other social network of parental alienation, there is one called Papa. There is a lot of other. There is one called Thunder, and men whose children have been dragged out of their hands. They are hanging themselves every day. They are taking overdose. They become drug addicts. They become very violent. They are lingering in jail. Some have killed their partners because of that. Some have killed the children and the partners because of that and killed themselves. So parental alienation is a societal problem. It affects everybody. It affects grandparents.
That gets me to emotions.
Yeah. I've been through it, 2016 to 2020. 2016 to 2020. I'll send you the video that I did. I'll send you a video that I did that went viral around the world. I'll send you a video that went viral. Have a look at it.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
I'll look at it and comment on it.
Yeah.
Do a video on based on that. That'll be nice.
It went everywhere. Yeah.
When did you do that?
Oh, I did that in 2018. In 2018, I did that. It went viral everywhere.
Wow. Goodness. So you were actually, as a mental health expert, you went through yourself.
Oh God,
and you couldn't even.
Yeah.
It was hard for you.
I'm human. This is the thing.
What hope have we got?
This is the thing. I'm human. When you're human, you can't fight those things. You can't. You just can't. And there is no sector in mental health that I've not worked, from child and adolescents to vulnerable adults, people with psychosis, people with personality disorders, people with all sort of psychosocial stresses, alcohol, addiction, drugs related addiction, crime, everything.
Well, you're the man for us, man. So we will arrange this, bring you aboard,
absolutely,
and let's talk properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, people are going to listen to what you just said. There will be questions out there, and I'll compile it and we'll talk together.
This is my bread and butter. I would absolutely love to discuss that. Absolutely.
No. Thanks for coming, bro. I appreciate that. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right. So that wraps up today's episode of The Conversation in the Chair. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did here. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. We did love to hear your thoughts and keep the conversation going. Until next time, take care and stay tuned. Peace.